This is Vel with Vel Can Cook. So I'm coming to you with my 12 Days of Christmas series cook-off Q&A. And I'm doing this because I think it gives a deeper look into how we came up with our ingredients, what made us want to participate in the series cook-off, and kind of what it meant to us. So it was so phenomenal just to be in the company of these two incredible women that, you know, created their dishes and made spectacular items and things that I'm going to be cooking for a long time. But first, and also the request to start the series kind of was a bittersweet thing for me, if I'm being honest. I was initially going to say no. I was, but then I thought about it and I was like, you know what? I need this, you know, I really need this. So I went ahead and I said yes to my sister, and she kind of convinced me, you know, that it's a warm and safe environment, and she was so right about that. And she said that I could cook anything that I wanted as long as it started with the initial of the item that was in the song for the famous 12 Days of Christmas song. And oh shoot, excuse me, y'all. Grab my tea bag. The 12 Days of Christmas song. So I said, okay, this sounds cool. So I just, you know, went ahead and I said, you know, trust yourself. You can do this and it's going to be great. And that was the truth. It was great. It was amazing. Excuse me. It was amazing. And then learning, you know, from Simple Meals by T-vlog and by Sadie with CAJS&T Life in Ottawa. I've learned so much. I've learned so much about patience and grace and, you know, and courage and just having the belief in yourself that you can create. So I'm so glad that I did it, y'all. I really am. And I would love to, you know, try to help encourage others to kind of do something like this with a group of your YouTube, you know, friends and family. Because what I think that it does is creates a network of togetherness. It creates a network of support. And especially when people that you don't know, from all over the world who may share the same passions or similar passions as you, and who you may admire as for what they do. And it just helps build camaraderie, you know, and build relationships. And I think that that's kind of what I got out of this more than anything, is just building relationships and lasting relationships. As you all may know, Simple Meals by T-vlog is my sister. So we already have that bond, but Sadie in Life in Ottawa is an amazing, you know, and beautiful human being. And just kind of getting to know her through her cooking and through her sharing her life with us. She inspires me. She has so much courage in her and so much strength, and I admire that, and I have nothing but respect for her and both these amazing women. You know, we all live life and we do the best we can with ourselves. You know, we have to still check in on our own mental health and emotional health and the people that we love, and we do everything we can to, you know, just try to keep a balance in our life on top of, you know, putting ourselves out there with what we choose to share, and, you know, how we want to help grow other people, and what, you know, just to show them kind of, hey, you can do it too. And if it's something that you like enough, start here. That way you can kind of pass it, do it yourself, pass it on. And I've learned so many things out of this, but some of my greatest lessons was to, first and foremost, trust God, trust that you can do it, even if you're scared or intimidated, build relationships, and have a good time, do some things, cook some things or make some things that, just put a smile on your face. So with saying all of that, I honor the women that I was a part of this series cook-off with, and I'm so grateful to them in so many ways. And a special, love and shout out to my sister, Simple Meals by T-vlog, because if she didn't come to me with it, I never would have been a part of it. So I'm just so happy that she had the, the know-how and the knowledge to put it all together and to invite us into this journey with her. She's so phenomenal. So please, by all means, check out their channels. Check out Simple Meals by T-vlog, and also check out CAJS&T Life in Ottawa. And her name is Sadie, and she's an incredible mother of 4. And I just love her story, and I love her journey as to where God and life has brought her so far. So if you don't believe in God, don't get offended by that. That's just where I am at with it. And I'm just grateful for, for her and for Simple Meals, for everything that they've taught me throughout this series. So yeah, so many blessings to them and many blessings to you all as well. And with that being said, let me get started with my Q&A. All right. So during this 12 Days of Christmas series, we all came up with 12 different items that we would create that supported the 12 Day of Christmas song. So, and as the song goes, so on the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me a partridge and a pear tree. And with that partridge, what I came up with is my Parmesan and cheese popcorn. Now this is something that I always eat as just a regular snack when I just want to have something to eat late in the evening, or when I'm watching movies. I just cook me up this popcorn, and it's always been delicious to me. So I just wanted to share it. And so that's why I chose it for the day one, partridge and a pear tree food item. And when I made that, it was just like second nature. And it was just something I could do that with my eyes closed because I do it so much. So that part was really easy for me. There was no real difficulty in the execution of the ingredients or the actual making of the popcorn. Popcorn is super simple, Now, what I do different is I add olive oil to my butter, which gives your popcorn just a little bit, healthier kick as you're eating your popcorn. I use extra virgin cold pressed olive oil along with the butter, and then I add my Parmesan cheese and my jalapeno seasoning. So there we go. And my popcorn is also something that I share with others when I make it. I give it away also. And it's just, a really cool little snack. So it's probably my easiest item that I made. Very simple, very to the point, there it was. So that would be my partridge in a pear tree first item on day one of the 12 Days of Christmas cook-off series. Day 2 is turtle doves. And for that day, I made my taco bake. Now, over the years, I've made a taco bake, and it was just a recipe that I came up with. It was something to tie lasagna and tacos together because I absolutely love both. And everybody in my family does too. So that's what I did. I made my taco bake. My taco bake just basically consists of everything that you would put on a taco, and you just bake it like a lasagna. It's real simple also. Now, if there were any, okay, and kind of going back to the popcorn, sorry. So there are 3 questions that we have to answer. 1 is, what is your favorite dish? 2 is, what was your least favorite dish? And 3 is, what would you change? And for my popcorn in day 1, it is one of my favorite dishes, but not the most favorite. And there was no difficulty in it. And there's really nothing that I would have changed in that. So there you go. So moving on to back to our turtle doves. So the taco bake for day 2 of the 12 days of Christmas is actually really simple to me. It's something that I do all the time anyway. So it's like, it's just second nature. So it is one of my favorites also, but it wasn't the most favorite in the 12 day of Christmas cook-off series. It's because it's only because I always make it. So it's like, it's all right for me. It's really, really, really good. But for me, because I always make it and cook it, it's taco bake. And I didn't dislike it. The level of difficulty for me was 0 because it's such a normal thing in my household. And there's nothing that I would have changed about it other than I would have added maybe more tomatoes on top. Because when I traditionally make my taco bake, when I top everything off, I add olives, tomatoes, jalapeno, pepper, cilantro, onion, and yeah, and along with the cheese. So when I top it off, that's kind of what I have. And I didn't have all of that on it. I just wanted to do it and get it done. That way I could, present it on the channel. But it's really good, really delicious. And I hope that everybody sees that video and they like it enough for themselves to make it for their family. And now on to day 3. So day 3 is my true love gave to me 3 French hens. And for day 3, I made my strawberry stuffed French toast. Whew. So let's see. I really, really like the French toast. In all honesty, it was my first time making stuffed French toast. I've always made French toast, and I've done so for years. But the stuffed French toast, it's just my first time. And to be honest, there was no real level of difficulty to it. It was messy, because, traditionally with your French toast, you have to put your bread in your liquid and then fry it. Well, in doing that, everything gets a little messier because you have all of the, the stuffing in there. So it oozes out or it doesn't stick quite right and it comes off and gets into your batter. And so, yeah. So it was just a little messier. However, final execution, it was absolutely delicious. I loved it a lot. Everybody in the house loved it a lot. And we'll definitely be making it again. Yeah, I think that's it about the stuffed French toast. It was absolutely delicious. Next time, maybe something that I might change is make it with Texas toast instead of the brioche. I love the brioche, but I like the Texas toast more because it's a thicker bread, which gives you a better built stuffed French toast to me. So yeah, that's probably the only thing that I would change. in that particular recipe. And yeah, that's about it. It was really, really good. Everybody liked it so much that the part, or the piece rather, that I put up, somebody found it and ate it. So, because that piece was supposed to go to my sis Simple Meals. And somebody ate it. So yeah, as well as the taco bake, right? So she was supposed to get a piece of the taco bake too, and somebody ate it. So it's kind of hard to hide things here because people know that I make it and they find it, and it's kind of it. But yeah, so stuffed French toast was a lot of fun, and I'm definitely going to be making it again. And next time I think I might do it with blueberries though. Yeah, with blueberries. So that was definitely not my favorite, but it wasn't the worst either. And the only thing again that I would change was the Texas toast instead of brioche bread. All right, so there's day 3. Day 4 is 4 calling birds. So for day 4, I chose to make my turkey sliders with cranberry sauce. And y'all, let me tell you, those sliders were incredible. For calling bird, oh my goodness, y'all, I was so happy with how that came out, because I'm gonna be quite honest with you, I was real concerned at first. Even when I remember when me and Simple Meals was talking about it, and I was kind of going over my list and kind of having brainstorms as to what to cook, it was like one of the initial thoughts that popped into my head. But I was also kind of like, oh, but we already had like Thanksgiving, because you know, this is like right off the cusp of Thanksgiving that we start even coming up with what our, you know, meal items would be for the 12 days of Christmas cook-off. And I was like, ooh, like that's a lot. Like, you know, people might be tired of turkey and, you know, cranberry sauce and all of that. But I'm glad that I stuck to my guns, and I completed it anyway. And y'all, it was so awesome. It was so awesome. And when it was over with, everybody loved them. I mean, everybody loved them, and they came out so good. And I just really am happy that I chose to make those. They're definitely going to be one of my staples for the holiday. And just because, you know, just make some good old turkey sliders with some sharp cheddar cheese and a little bit of cranberry sauce. And honey, I'm telling you, it works. It works together. And I really think that everybody will like it if you make it for them. So there really was no level of difficulty to this particular recipe either. It was actually quite simple to create this. Very simple, very fast too. Like, you make the burgers, you season your burgers, make them up, you know, cook them, you know, put all your ingredients on your slider bun. That's it. So, that's definitely something that I'm going to be making in the future, without a doubt. So if y'all see me kind of preoccupied, what I'm doing is I'm making me a spot of tea. And in this tea, I have, let's see, some Gouda Cola, and that's an herb. Some Autumn Sunset tea, which consists of like freeze-dried apples, lavender, Earl Grey, some purple flowers. It's really, really good tea. And I get it at the tea shop down inside of the city market. And then I also have some extra joint support tea that I get from bravotea.com. It's called bravotea.com. And it's a joint support tea. And it's not, you know, the best tasting tea, but it's because it got some really good stuff in it. Especially if you have joint issues, and I do. And it really helps. So check it out. And I also have some mullion in there also. So yeah, check it out. And what I am making or placing into my tea is some homemade oil of oregano. See? That's my oregano oil. And yeah. So I put, you know, like 2 full droppers of that into my tea, or even into my food, whatever I'm eating. And oregano oil has a ton of incredible benefits for the body. So I encourage everybody to make them some homemade oregano oil. It really does help. All right, y'all. And now I'm going to go to day 5 of the 12 Days of Christmas song, which is 5 golden rings. It's probably my favorite part in the whole song. But so for that day, I ended up making golden onion rings, and that, I'm going to be honest, like, I love the recipe, but the execution was like tough because it was just kind of messy. And since it was my first time making it, you know, I think I added like maybe a little too much liquid and not enough flour. And so the level of difficulty on that one was just a little higher. But I still really am, you know, I was pleasantly surprised with the outcome and the end all be all. So I'm really glad that I made those, and I can't wait to make them again. But I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you, the recipe for onion rings that I want to make is my sister's Simple Meal by T-vlog, her crunchy onion rings. Y'all, oh my God, she makes the best onion rings, y'all. So if you haven't had an opportunity to, check out her video for her golden crunchy onion rings, and you will be so happy that you did. She makes the best onion rings, homemade onion rings. So yeah, golden onion rings, they taste fabulous. The difficulty level was a little more than what I expected, but again, it's because it was my first time and I put a little too much fluid or liquid milk into my wet batter versus my dry batter. And I also added, and this is what I wouldn't do next time with those, I wouldn't add the crunched up French fried onions, because I wanted to do something a little different. I wanted to add like a little pizzazz to the recipe. So I ended up adding some French fried onions to it, like broke them up really fine and threw it in the dry batter. But it really didn't, like, the execution of that didn't go over too well. So that's the reason why I wouldn't put that particular ingredient in the onion rings again. But other than that, really good recipe, really good. The flavor was awesome. It's just the technique and the execution just wasn't falling, you know, in synchronicity or harmony for me. So next time I'm just going to go back to the lab and restructure that recipe a little bit and then make some more. So that is my day 5 of my 12 Days of Christmas cook-off item, which was golden onion rings. Now day 6 is geese laying. And so for that day, I chose to make a smoked Gouda and 5 pepper cheese grilled cheese. Man, when I tell you, that was everything. And to be perfectly honest, it was still a super simple execution. But the thing was, I hadn't used those particular cheeses together. So when I did, I was thinking that maybe it wouldn't be as, you know, as creamy or like the Gouda, because Gouda is kind of a stronger cheese also. So it's good to pair it with another good strong cheese. Well, not too strong. So that's why I paired it with a 5 pepper cheese. And it just turned out, it was so beautiful, y'all. I loved it. I loved every part of it. It came out beautifully. It was so velvety. The cheese was super, super gooey. And I think that was probably one of the best grilled cheeses I've ever made. So yeah, that probably was, out of all of the things that I've made, that was probably the favorite one. Yeah. And it's because the flavors were so bold and so delicious together, and the execution was super simple. Like, I made one in like 5 minutes. So the execution, it took no time to make it. The ingredients were simple, and the flavor was out of this world. So I encourage everybody to give them some 5-pepper cheese and some smoked Gouda and make you a grilled cheese. You will not be sorry. You will love that grilled cheese. That I promise you. And if you don't, you can come back and tell me why you didn't like it. But for me, I thought it was absolutely fabulous. And everybody that, you know, I gave one to thought that it was amazing also. So yeah, the 5-pepper cheese and smoked Gouda grilled cheese was probably my favorite recipe of all of my recipes. All right, so now day 6 is geese-a-laying. Wait. Yeah. So I already went over day 6. Day 7 is swans a-swimming. And for that particular day, I chose to make a shrimp and spinach dip. And my shrimp and spinach dip, I always make that also. I usually make it like in the spring, summertime, but I made it this time for the winter. And y'all, it did not disappoint. That shrimp and spinach dip was great. Now, previously though, I never made it with shrimp. This was just a different take on my spinach dip because I just wanted to see if it would have paired well with everything that I used for my original spinach dip. And it did, you know, it really did. It was great. It tastes delicious. However, I will say this, for the recipe that I used, I would not have used tomato sauce that I included in the recipe. I ended up putting the entire jar of Alfredo sauce when it only needed about half the jar. Other than that, it was perfect. Really good, really velvety, really creamy. Had some really good, you know, cheese melting, stretching, or whatever you call it. So it turned out good. So I liked it a lot. Everybody else liked it a lot. And the recipe that I created, it was enough for, oh my goodness, about 10 people. It was that much spinach dip. So it's one of those good appetizers that's good for a crowd or get together or something to that effect. It turned out really good overall, but that would be the one thing that I'd change, is the amount of Alfredo sauce, because it made it a little too thin, I think, against the cream cheese and the sour cream and everything. But yeah, it was a really good recipe, especially for my first time trying it like that with the shrimp in it. I really wanted to share some, but unfortunately, I have family who is not lactose intolerant. I have family that is allergic to shellfish, so I wasn't able to share it with everybody. I'm sorry. So yeah, so that is my shrimp and spinach dip. So hopefully you guys will like it enough to try it yourself. My next day is day 8 for 8 Maids of Milking. And so for 8 Maids of Milking, I was originally going to create, I think it was goodness, I can't remember what I was originally going to create, but I know that it wasn't a milkshake. I think it was like a dessert maybe, but I know it wasn't a milkshake, and I decided to change it to a milkshake, right? And full disclosure, when I did that, T-vlog kind of, her head, like the top of her head kind of like came off a little bit. And yeah, she was not happy. So, but here's the thing, like I completely, you know, forgot what her full schedule or, you know, food schedule would have been. And I completely forgot she was going to make a mint and chocolate milkshake. So I was like, sorry, sis. She forgave me. I'm so glad she forgave me. So, but yeah, I felt kind of bad, y'all. I felt real bad because she was going to be making a milkshake, and I ended up making the milkshake because I changed what I was originally going to be making. So yeah, awkward, but it's still all turned out just fine. And that's my girl, that's my sis. So you know, we laughed about it and kept it moving like we always do. Now, that particular recipe, that particular recipe was also my first time making a chocolate mint chocolate milkshake. I can never say chocolate mint. I don't know why. My brain just will not process that. So that particular milkshake was a really good milkshake. The only thing that I would have changed about that is maybe a couple of things. Excuse me. Maybe a couple of things. It was the amount of ice cream that I used, the amount of the dye that I used, the food dye, food coloring, whatever. I ended up putting like 4 drops in it because I wanted to have like a deeper green, and that did not work. 2 drops is more than enough, especially if you have like a food coloring that is on the cheaper side. It's not like for the ones that you would use like for maybe boiling eggs and things to that effect, because it can get, you can kind of taste the chemical, I guess, in the dye. And so I kind of had an issue with that because I have a very sensitive palate. Like, it's crazy how sensitive my palate really is, and things that I can pick up on while eating. So that would have been one of the things that I changed, and I would have actually added more ice cream and a little less milk. So, but other than that, oh yeah, and I would have added some thin mints. So next time I make one, I would add some thin mint cookies to it, crush those up, and put that, you know, in my milkshake, and then as well as the ice cream and the milk situation. So yeah, other than that, oh, and the dye. But other than that, it was a really good recipe, and I'm really glad that I tried it out. I liked it a lot, and I think everybody here did too. So yes, that was my day 8 for my 8 maids of milking. Let's see, and those are the things I would change. It was a pretty good recipe. Again, I know that those things that when I do change it, it's going to make it just amazing. I just know it. And so my next day is day 9 for 9 ladies dancing. So for 9 ladies dancing, I ended up creating a luscious caramel latte. Now, okay, y'all, so this was my first time making a latte. And lattes are supposed to be, you know, rich and, you know, have a strong, bold coffee flavor, as well as that good cream, that frothy cream flavor. And mine did, but you know, mine tastes more like a milkshake. And it was good. It was good, but I don't know, maybe because I don't really drink lattes as much. I liked it, but it was like, you know, it was good, but it just wasn't, you know, something I don't know if I would go back to. Actually, with that particular recipe, I might have changed the type of milk that I used, because what I did was I, you know, frothed some heavy whipping cream, and then I also frothed some oat milk. So in place of the oat milk, I would actually use whole milk, and you know, just to make sure that it was a nice thicker consistency against the coffee, because the espresso in it is very powerful. Espresso is very strong, so you have to have something that's strong enough to help offset that bite of the espresso. And that's actually what I'm gonna do next time if I make one. It's not something that I normally drink, even though I love coffee and I love coffee drinks. It's just, I don't know, that was kind of like a, okay, cool. I did it. It was cool. Let's move on. But if I do, that will probably be the only thing that I changed. So yeah, that was my 9 ladies dancing. Let's see. Oh, it's another thing with that latte. Like with the recipe that I used to create that, it was kind of like a one and done, you know. It was like, it was just enough for literally one latte. Yep, just enough for one. So I just ended up making that one, letting it be kind of what it was for me. And then, you know, I think I ended up putting it in the freezer actually. Yeah. And then I came back to it later. But yeah, that was the latte. So my next item that I cooked would have been my, oh yeah. So I realized, y'all, that I did like 3 drinks all in a row. I did. And I didn't set it up that way. I really didn't. But when I realized it, excuse me, but when I realized that I had 3 drinks in a row, I said, okay, if I'm gonna do these 3 drinks, it's gonna be the only 3, you know, drinks that I had in the entire series. And so I made sure that I committed to that these were the only drinks that I made. So the first one was the milkshake, and then the latte, and then my third drink was for my day 10, my Lords of Leaping. And for that particular day, I chose to make a lemonade and blueberry seltzer. Well, blueberry lemonade with seltzer water. And it was fabulous, y'all. Whew, that was so good. And that was another first time that I created that recipe. And I really liked it. And everybody, it was a hit with everybody. Like everybody just absolutely adored it. And they they killed it. Like maybe that next afternoon or evening, tops, I made a big, well, yeah, big picture, like a glass picture of it. And it was gone by the next day. So yeah. The level of difficulty was honestly 0. I mean, I think we've all kind of made lemonade before, right? And lemonade is like super easy. But for me, adding the seltzer, it was just a part of, you know, making sure that I got the execution right. And I added just enough seltzer without adding, you know, too much or not enough. So I just kind of winged it. I really did. I didn't follow a recipe for that. I winged it and it came out beautiful. It really did. So I think I did put the recipe in the description on for that particular day for the Tins lemonade spritzer. And hopefully y'all enjoy it. So another thing with that is the blueberries. It's like really important to get fresh blueberries because your fresh blueberries give you a more stronger flavor of the blueberry. And when you muddle them, or if you decide to muddle them, you don't have to. You can leave them whole. You can cut them in half. I think I just cut mine in half and still did the trick. And it was actually really pretty in the lemonade also. So yeah, I'm definitely going to make that again. And it's really a good summertime drink, you know, the lemonade spritzer is. So it's going to definitely be something that's going to be in our refrigerator in the summertime. For sure. The level of difficulty again was 0. Execution was so fast. Like it took me no time to complete that. And the final outcome was fantabulous. Yeah, I know. I said fantabulous. Yes, it was. It was fantabulous. So that was actually one of my favorite dishes, or not dishes, but things that I made during this series. And it was so many things. And what's crazy too is it's like when you're trying to come up with a menu to create, you know, what you want to present and come across. For me, it was kind of like, okay, since we are right here at Thanksgiving, coming up with these dishes and, you know, preparing and going to the store and buying this stuff along with your Thanksgiving food items. It's like, what do you get that's not going to clash with Thanksgiving? And at least in my mind anyway, because what I didn't want to do is center everything around strictly holiday, you know, which, I mean, it's not a bad thing. I'm just saying for me, I just didn't want to do holiday overkill, if that makes any sense. I really wanted to create some things that stood on their own and didn't have any particular theme. And that just tastes good, you know, things that were quick and easy to make and, you know, didn't break the bank, and also things that you could share with others. So that's why I did it. And that was my general view of what I wanted to do in my creation and execution of my dishes. And I think it all turned out really good, actually. My day 11 is Piper's Piping. So for the day 11, Piper's Piping, I chose to make a potato soup with bacon. And that was absolutely phenomenal, y'all. And I made it on the perfect evening because it was like getting pretty chilly outside here in KC. And it was just a perfect night for a good bowl of something hot and hearty, you know what I mean? And I ended up making such a big pot to where I was able to share a lot of it with friends and family members. So I think that that was pretty awesome to be able to do that. I shared some with my nieces and nephews, and I took some to my mom, and she really liked it. And yeah, so it was one of those things to where I've always made what I make a potato and hamburger soup, and that's kind of an homage to my mom. When we were younger, she used to make us what we would call struggle meals. And if you are aware of what a struggle meal is, struggle meals are, you know, huge pots or casserole dishes, or what do you call them? The big pans of food, you know, that you'll make for your family, because you are like at the end of the month or towards the end of the month and your funds are low, and you got to try to figure out something to feed those babies, and that's what you do. You create struggle meals, and struggle meals are usually whatever's left in the cupboards or the freezer or the refrigerator, and that's what it is. And struggle meals are a blessing, honey, a blessing. And I'm so glad and so honored to know how to, you know, prepare a good meal and feed my family when I know things are pretty lean. And that was kind of an homage to her, excuse me, because she would make us a hamburger soup when we were little. And I'm actually gonna make that on my channel too, is that hamburger soup. And I think that you guys will really like it. But that's where me coming up with the idea for the potato soup, that's where that came from. So it was really, really creamy, really delicious, really hearty. I really love making it. I love making it, and it was super easy. The level of execution and the difficulty, it wasn't difficult at all, and it's because I know, excuse me, y'all, because I know how to make it. So it really wasn't a difficult dish at all. It was a little time consuming because after you cut up your potatoes and you create your puree, and you get everything cooking, and it just takes a minute to cook everything down, especially, your potatoes, because it takes potatoes a little bit in order to become tender. But in the end all be all, it was a fantabulous dish. Yet again, fantabulous. It really worked, and it was a beautiful meal that helped, keep our bellies full. So very grateful, and very glad that I made it, and I can't wait to make some more. And I'm also going to create a potato soup with maybe clams, or like I don't know if I'm going to do clams, or but I do want to do like a seafood themed potato soup. I think that would be fire. So I'm going to definitely try that. And I hope that you guys, again, check out all of the recipes from all of our channels. All of us made some incredible, dishes and appetizers and drinks and things of that nature. And I think that you'll really like them. And we put a lot of love into it. We put a lot of time into it in order to make it right for you guys so that you would enjoy it, and hopefully one day want to recreate them for yourselves. Yeah. Let's see. So I think this is the last thing that I made. This is going to be my day 12, and my day 12 is my drummers drumming. 12 drummers drumming. And for the 12th day, I made strawberry donuts. Now, let's see, where do I start with the strawberry donuts? So for so many reasons, this was like my most difficult dish. And just to kind of give you kind of a quick backstory into it, I wanted to create a donut where it was homemade and it wasn't too difficult, but it had its own very specific elements in it to make it very unique. And so I got that part, but the thing was, like, these donuts ended up being one of the most messy and difficult things I'd ever made. And I'm gonna tell you why. Firstly, I went off-road, if you will, of the recipe, and I added more cake mix. I added more yeast. I added more flour. So, and what that equated to is more mess. A lot more mess, as a matter of fact. And donuts are messy, so sticky and messy, and I had dough everywhere. And when I went to get everything, incorporated and got it all in my blender and everything, it just kind of took its own direction, and it's just like it doubled in volume while it was in that blender. And when I finally got it out, I was trying to like spoon my donuts, or like, because I didn't have a donut cutter because it was just too thin. The batter was just too thin. And I ended up like trying a bunch of different ways to cook these donuts, y'all. And you got to be careful, because then there's grease and you don't want to burn them, and you want to make sure you space them out, and you want to make sure you drain them of the oil. And so it was a lot. But y'all, when I tell you that those donuts came out, the taste, they were so, first off, they were ugly. Those were some of the ugliest pastries I've ever seen in my life. They were all kind of different shapes, y'all. I had little bitty teardrops, to these little long wiggly lines, to these little balls of dough that were misshapen, to oh wow, these wiggly circles that were completely different, shapes. Like, it was thick and then ran down into thinner little pieces of donut. And it was a very intriguing process, very fascinating, time consuming. But I'm gonna tell you something. I learned so much. I learned, again, stick to the program, honey. There's nothing wrong with the program. When a recipe is a recipe, it's that recipe for a reason. Don't go trying to switch up everything. And that's what I did. And honey, I paid for it. I really paid for it. But overall, I had so much fun. I really did. The donuts came out amazing, y'all. Oh my God. Like, the donut, the taste of that donut, it was stronger than any strawberry donut or pastry I ever had. Ever. Truly. Right? Because with the incorporation of the cake mix, and then I had strawberry powder, and then I had freeze-dried, well, not freeze-dried, but dehydrated strawberries that I cut up in there myself. Y'all, that flavor was everything. Okay? And my baby told me, he was like, listen, these are so good, you should sell these. because they're really that good. And I was like, okay, I just might try. I just might. But yeah, for something to be so ugly, it turned out so good. That's the truth. And what I ended up having to do, it was, you know, again, it was just so many crazy little issues that were coming up regarding the donuts. So I ended up having to, after I, you know, recorded my original video for the donuts, I ended up having to come back and record another video, because as I was attempting to go and edit my video, excuse me, which was maybe about a week or so later, I could not get it edited. I could not get it edited on any of the movie editing programs that I was trying to use. And it was so frustrating, y'all. I ended up calling my sis up. I said, listen, I need some help because this is not doing it. I still got to get my video out. As a matter of fact, my strawberry donut video didn't come out until the next day, if I'm not mistaken, on the 13th. It was supposed to come out on the 12th. And I had Simple Meals trying to help me. And God bless her. Lord, God bless her. She has the patience of a saint. Because I know I was getting on her nerves for a little bit trying to figure that stuff out that night. But, you know, she just finally ended up telling me, she said, listen, just give it till tomorrow, you know, see if everything updates. And if it does, then get it done then. And if it doesn't, you know, you might have to just download a new program. So, and then I was excited about it. I was like, yeah, you know, you're right. You're absolutely right. So I went back the next day. Still wasn't able to get my original videos. Excuse me, y'all. Still wasn't able to, you know, get my original videos uploaded. I downloaded a new program. The new program wouldn't pick up my video. And it turns out that some of the programs, if you are trying to pull an older video, because I think my video was just about a week old, but if you were trying to pull an older video, then it wouldn't pull that video over. And I didn't understand that. It just makes no sense to me. So anyway, I shot emails to IT, you know, in these particular programs that I was using. And the only message that they had, you know, responded back to me and stating was that, you know, it was probably because either my video was too large or I was trying to, you know, upload a video that was an older video. So you live and you learn. But I was able to successfully create a new video on the 13th because, thank God, I saved some of my donut batter. And I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sleepy. I'm gonna go to bed right after this. But anyway, I ended up saving some of my donut batter, and I ended up, you know, just kind of recreating a new video. So unfortunately, it did not include the video with all of my ingredients and everything, but I did want to make sure that you guys saw something of what that process entailed and kind of how I got that executed. So that honestly, like the strawberry donuts, was my most the tastiest, you know, thing I think I'll say, but the most difficult execution wise. Oh, that was so difficult. It was just so much to it, and donut making is no joke. You know, they make it look real easy. It's not easy. It's really not easy, and it's very messy, you know, very messy. So my hat goes off to donut makers all over the world. Y'all are the bomb, and we thank you. So yeah, guys, there you have it. That's my 12 days of Christmas. So let me kind of go over the song. So we have, on the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me a partridge in a pear tree. On the second day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 2 turtle doves and a partridge in a pear tree. On the third day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. On the fourth day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. On the 5th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 5 golden rings, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. On the 6th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 6 geese a-laying, 5 golden rings, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. On the 7th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 7 swans a-swimming, 6 geese a-laying, 5 golden rings, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. On the 8th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 8 maids a-milking, 7 swans a-swimming. I had to look at my sheet. 6 geese a-laying, 5 golden rings, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. On the 9th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 9 ladies dancing, 8 mills a-making, 7 swans a-swimming, 6 geese a-laying, 5 golden rings, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. On the 9th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 9 ladies dancing, 8 maids a-milking, 7 swans a-swimming, 6 geese a-laying, 5 golden rings, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. On the 10th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 10 lords a-leaping, 9 ladies dancing, 8 maids a-milking, 7 swans a-swimming, 5 golden rings, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. On the 11th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 11 pipers piping, 10 lords a-leaping, I think I skipped that one, 9 ladies dancing, 8 maids a-milking, 7 swans a-swimming, 6 geese a-laying, 5 golden rings, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. On the 12th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 12 drummers drumming, 11 pipers piping, 10 lords of leaping, 9 ladies dancing, 8 maids of milking, 7 swans of swimming, 6 geese of laying, 5 golden rings, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. All right. Ooh. So thank you guys for letting me be goofy with you. And thank you for taking this time out to listen to my Q&A for the 12 Day of Christmas series cook-off. And I'm so glad that you guys joined us on this journey. It was an incredible journey. We've all learned so much. We've all been through so much. We've all done so much. And we're all super grateful that we have so many people that care about us and subscribe to us and just support us from the bottom of our hearts. We thank you. We thank you. We thank you. And we love you. And many blessings to each and every last one of you. Thank you for supporting my sisters, Simple Meals by T-vlog, and Sadie with CAJS&T Life in Ottawa. And hopefully you and the ones that you care about will create a series next year, and we can all just celebrate each other while we do these 12 Day of Christmas series cook-offs. And I think that it was an honor and a privilege for me to be included on this journey, and I'm super grateful. And I thank everybody. I hope that you liked it. And just in case you didn't get what my favorite dish was, I'll go back and tell you that it was, drum roll, it was my very delicious day 6. It was my day 6 geese laying for my 5 pepper cheese and smoked Gouda, not French toast. My 5 pepper cheese and smoked Gouda grilled cheese. That was my favorite dish. I really hope that you guys liked it. Please try every last recipe, you guys, and pass it on. You know, you never know what somebody else would like to see and maybe partake and, you know, make it their own. So that's why we do this. We do this because we love doing it. We love to cook, and we honor all of the ones that came before us, such as my mother and my beautiful godmother, may she rest in heaven, my mama Janie, and I just thank her for everything that she taught me. I thank her for actually giving me the freedom to explore the kitchen, you know, and really become one with the kitchen. If it wasn't for her, I don't know if I would have had the same love and passion for cooking. So I just have to honor her and thank her for everything that she's taught me and everything that she's given me. And for also giving me my sister, Simple Meals by T-vlog. So I'm going to sign out, guys. I hope that you guys had a wonderful time with this series as we had creating it. And I can't wait to come back with our next series. So stay tuned so that you guys can see what we do and all of the love and the fun and the joy that we have in it as we're creating these amazing dishes for you and for us. So take care. God bless each and every last one of you. Be good to yourselves and be good to each other. Blessings.